So basically, Andy Staples and friends, they
At
put
The
out
Athletic.
yes, they put out an article called 3-Star U.
Yeah.
They did some data basically, and I'm summarizing this. I'm sure there's some ifs, ands, or buts. 2009, 2019, they did research compared 5, 4, and 3 stars signed versus those respectively drafted.
So the number of 5 stars drafted versus the number of 5 stars you signed versus the number of 5 stars you have drafted to the NFL.
Correct.
And we got percentages on these teams?
Yes.
So who is the best developer of 5 stars in the country? I'm guessing, Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, one of those.
Those are on there.
Yeah.
So the first one I think is going to be hard for data, but Stanford. They've had with only 6 signed, 5 drafted. So I think that's a little bit of an asterisk.
Yeah.
Number 1 was 16 signed, 12 drafted is Clemson.
Yeah, they have done a good job of turning their elite recruits into elite college football players. I'll give that to them. They probably missed some, but it feels like their miss percentage is very, very low compared to other teams.
Number 2 is A&M with 11 to 8.
And you said this is 2009 to 2019.
Yes.
All right, so that's interesting because I feel like over the last 3 or 4 years, it feels like that's fallen off a cliff. They're not developing their 5 stars anymore as well as they used to. It doesn't feel like they are.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's basically recruited 2009, 2019, drafted 2012, 2022.
Okay. All right. Now what else?
4 is Miami with 7 to 5.
Yeah.
Alabama with 44 to 30.
That's crazy.
That's stupid. That's
68.2%.
But forget about the percentage. Right?
Yeah.
If you get 44 5 stars in a 10-year window, you can't not be great. You can't not be elite. That's
the next highest is Georgia with 34.
Think about it. There's 32 5 stars a year, right?
Yeah,
basically,
around there.
Around 32 5 stars a year. They're averaging. That's 4.4 a year, right? That's absurd. That's unbelievable.
There's not even enough room for any more.
Yeah.
Because all the other guys are also 5 stars that are also play wide receiver. It's like or quarterback.
Yeah, the ones that don't get drafted just got passed up by other 5 stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, continue.
Yeah. Penn State, Ohio State, Georgia, Florida State.
Now tell me how far does it go down? Who are
Top 10. So next up is the worst.
Who are the worst developers of 5-star talent? That's what I want to know.
Now,
Texas and Tennessee got to be in the mix.
if you're listening to this, I'm reading off a document. This is not made for clicks. I know. I'm not talking to you.
All right.
Number 1, as in number 1 is worst, is Texas. Number 2 is Oklahoma. 3, Auburn. 4, Tennessee.
So Auburn went like 5 years under Gus Malzahn without having a first-round pick, and I thought that was absurd. They went from like 2015 to Derek Brown whenever he was. And Malzahn did not develop guys at all. He did a shitty job. So Auburn makes a lot of sense.
13 signed, 4 drafted.
That's embarrassing.
Notre Dame, UCLA, Ole Miss, LSU, Oregon,
I
USC.
figured Ole Miss, they suck at it too. But Auburn, think about that. I want you to think about this, Jack. I'm a 5-star. And I go to Auburn, and they promise me this, and they promise me that, and I get pussy and all that. So everything's great. And then I look at the sheet. They've had 13 of me, and 4 of them got drafted. Why in the fuck am I going there? That doesn't make sense.
I guess you tell the kid, hey, I'm the new coach.
Yeah.
But then if you
I guess every kid always believes he's better. It wouldn't happen to him.
Also, if you're
that's an embarrassing percentage.
If you're a 5-star high schooler, you're invincible.
Yeah.
You think it doesn't matter.
You're the exception.
I mean, that's not 13 5-stars and then 4 got drafted in the first round. That's 13 5-stars and 9 of them went undrafted. That's terrible. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, why do guys keep going there if they're that big of a who was number 1 on that? What was Texas's number?
Signed 17, 4 were drafted.
That's shocking. That tells you they get their numbers massaged. I mean, it just can't be.
But it's like so
they get their numbers massaged.
But
they're a big fan base and they get their numbers juiced up. You can't tell me they missed on 13 out of 7.
There's gonna be teams that miss.
But you're telling me the ratings guys missed on 13 of 17 guys? Then don't be in the business. You can't be in the business if you're missing 13, 17 guys.
Well, there was multiple. That was probably consensus. So that's multiple people missing.
13 of 17? No,
and also these guys
who's coaching them?
They get these guys that you say are being are fake 5-stars, right? They're phony. Let's just say
they still should be high 4-stars. Or still should be.
Maybe that's true, but they also get offered by other top tier schools.
Yeah.
Like that kid could probably go to Alabama if he wants to.
Now let's skip down. I want to see who the best developers of 3-stars are.
So that's interesting. The two standouts are LSU and Wisconsin.
Wisconsin
makes a lot of sense.
And this is by
Wisconsin will take a 3-star running back and turn him into a 2,000-yard rusher. They'll take a 3-star offensive lineman, put his ass in the league. Like, that makes sense. They have position groups that are just inherently elite when they get to campus. They develop them. So that makes sense.
Like,
LSU
is number 2 with 103, but like 1 and 3 are in the 60s. Wisconsin 186 though.
186 3-stars?
Yeah, and they're top 10.
Yeah. I'm shocked LSU has taken that many 3-stars, and it seems like they get whoever they want to. But Louisiana is also probably an underdeveloped state when it comes to scouting. Yeah, they get the top ones right.
There's probably so many kids
that fall under go under the radar in Louisiana,
and like they don't, and like maybe they don't go to the right camps.
Yeah,
they go, and Louisiana, like maybe even LSU has a weird way of being like, hey, you're coming to us. Don't be going to those camps. Like, it's all right that you're 3-star.
Well, LSU's also maybe one of the best in the country at stringing guys along that might go elsewhere, and then coming in with an LSU signing day offer and getting them in the boat.
Okay.
But like those kids will be in, Mandeville, or they'll be in Shreveport, and they'll never get an LSU offer. And then the night before signing day, LSU calls, hey, come here, and then those guys will just snap to attention and be like, okay, I'm coming. And those guys end up good.
And those high 3-stars are probably, I mean, you say it perfectly when talking about LSU.
Yeah.
It's the only school in the state that's a top tier school.
Yeah.
And every helmet in high school looks like their helmet.
LSU high school football trains them to love LSU. Yes.
And it's a brilliant position.
If you go to a high school football game in Louisiana,
they're all purple.
If you go, one team's going to be in yellow, one team's going to be in purple. They're both going to be playing the same fight song. Like that.
And they're going to have the very
tiger eye,
yeah. They're the Tigers, saber-toothed Tigers.
Are the worst developers of 4-stars also the same as the worst developers of 5-stars?
No. But for 3-stars, the worst ones are Kansas, Iowa State, Colorado, Duke, Washington State, Syracuse.
So the shitty teams.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But also, I think with 3-stars, there's 1,800 a class.
Oh, there's a lot more.
So it's hard to do the 1-to-1. For worst 4-stars, it's Nebraska, Tennessee, Michigan State, Texas, Rutgers, A&M, Oregon, TCU, Maryland, Missouri.
Who are the best on developing 4-stars?
Baylor, Miami, LSU, Ohio State, Bama, Notre Dame, NC State, Georgia, Clemson, Utah.
So when you get into these 3 and 4-stars, like the data would almost be better to do it by ranking.
Yeah.
Because
especially 3-stars.
Like those 4-stars that you mentioned, like that list, you said Ohio State, Alabama, like those are all high 4-stars.
Yeah.
And then the low, like Michigan State gets 4-stars, but they're probably lower.
Yeah.
And then LSU gets 3-stars that are like, should be 4-stars, but maybe they didn't go to the right camps.
Yeah. And to their credit, like they address that in it. So it's obviously not a 1-to-1.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see players ranked like 75 to 200. Like, hey, you're in the top. You're not pinnacle, but you're like,
they do have those
good.
Like, because how they do it is like they'll have an actual rating for these guys, not just a star. And it'll be like 0.88.
Yeah.
No. But a 4-star is not all built the same. There's 0.82 4-stars and 0.88 4-stars.
Our Mississippi State doesn't appear anywhere on this list at all.
I don't think so.
Probably better to be like.
Actually, sorry. 11 schools, one of them being Mississippi State, turned 100% of their 5-star signees into draft picks, but didn't sign more than 5 in the last 11 classes.
Listen, in the state of Mississippi, it's always been this way. If you want to make money in college, you go to Ole Miss. If you want to make money in NFL football, you better go to Mississippi State.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
And we'll close up with that.
And Ole Miss is in the bottom 5 for 5-stars.
Yeah, they suck. They're bad people. Anything else?
No, but that is a great study from Andy Staples and
do read the
Nicole,
full thing. There's a lot
or whatever.
They put a lot of work into it. I'm obviously just talking surface level.
Yeah.
So
On3 did put out a database with how much more likely you are to be drafted if you're a 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, which goes to show that the projection system is pretty good.